Hey everyone, Online Campus Pastor Robert Murphy, and here with lead pastor Mark Ashton. And as you probably know, we're in the midst of our Gotta Have a Question series. Questions that you submitted that Pastor Mark and also Pastor Tim Perry have been answering on a Sunday morning. But there are a lot of questions that were submitted that we weren't able to get to on a Sunday morning, so we're taking this time to answer some of those in these short videos. And Mark, I think I may have mentioned this too, but recently in the online campus, when you did the live Q&A, one of the questions that came in in the chat room was the topic of judgment. How do we judge? Is it okay to judge? What are the kind of parameters with that? I think it's something people realize, well, does the Bible say we shouldn't judge, or what is it with judging? So and I know it's something that was tripping up a lot of people, so just throwing that to you. I know that's something that could be a whole sermon.
Absolutely.
But what are some like good principles or maybe some verses that people should kind of maybe go to when kind of wondering what does Jesus say about that?
Yeah. Well, of course, the favorite verse that people like to go to, especially if there's someone who's not a Christian talking to their Christian friend, is judge not, lest ye be judged. And people know that even in the King James, lest ye be judged. And Jesus said, for the same measure that you're measuring other people by, they're going to measure you by. And so generally the intention of that is somebody who's not a Christian saying to their Christian friend, get off my back. You think you're all high and mighty. So a couple thoughts about that. One is that I think there's some legitimacy to the non-Christian's argument in that. Because there are some people out there that are followers of Jesus, and they get on their little moral road trips, their high horse, and they begin just expecting a certain kind of behavior about people who don't share the same worldview. So, somebody's not a Christian, we expect Christian behavior out of them. It's just not legitimate. It shouldn't happen that way. And so oftentimes the non-Christian response is, judge not, lest ye be judged. And I feel their pain in the midst of doing that kind of thing. However, sometimes that gets overused as well. And the example or the idea behind it is that, you shouldn't have moral standards or any moral expectations or speak into the moral fabric of our society. And you think about it in certain examples. Let's say somebody gets murdered and someone says, that's wrong. You shouldn't murder somebody. Well, you wouldn't say, oh, you're being judgmental of that person. You just have your moral standards and you say, that's wrong, that's against the moral standards that I hold. Or if somebody steals from somebody, you shouldn't steal from somebody. We could pretty much agree to that, and it's not being judgmental in that regard. But it gets sloppy when it gets into, say, sexual ethics. And someone says, you really shouldn't act that way sexually, and the other person's like, well, I'm going to do that. And the moral standard is not one that's shared between people. So the Christian certainly has the right to be able to say this is moral and this is not moral, particularly if they're referring to God. And God has already said in the Bible this is moral and this is not moral. And I think that we should be able to have vibrant and robust and engaging discussions around those types of issues. But again, we can't always expect Christian behavior out of people who aren't Christians. One of the things that's also very interesting is in the Proverbs, there's a great verse that I like. It says, a man's heart is like deep waters. Who can understand it? So when we're working with another person, when we're talking with them about what's going on in their lives, we don't know all the stuff that's contributed to them. So for us to sit in a position where we say, hey, I can judge you and the decisions that you're making in your life, I think we just need to be real cautious about that because we don't know what's going on in a person's life.
That's really good. I think just the thought that comes to mind then, so I think I was just listening to a podcast by Andy Stanley where he was talking a little bit about this. He said the same thing you did, like, hey, being inside the church, we can't be holding people who are outside the church to the standard that we're abiding by.
That's right.
So I think for you talk a lot about engaging people, being intentional, having these conversations with people. So for someone who's trying to engage with someone outside the church, maybe what are some good principles they could do to to engage with someone or have conversations like that where it may not come they can give some, I don't want to say if it's advice, but it doesn't come off judgmental, but they want to help, they want to engage with people on truth.
So a couple of things I would say. First one is ask a lot of questions. So really try and understand the person, find out where they're coming from. Don't speak quickly with an assumption that we already agree on things, but find out what their perspective is to begin with. And then if somebody is, heading down a path that you say, oh, I think this is really hurting you, like if it's out of compassion and love for the person, not out of judgment, if it's out of compassion for the person, then you can say to them, hey, you know, I've got some thoughts on that come from a spiritual perspective. Is it okay with you if I tell you? Because some people aren't comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And actually ask them and get their permission first. And usually if you've listened well to someone and if you ask for permission to speak into their life, they'll tell you yes or no, whether it's time to do that. And if it's done with a heart of compassion, usually people appreciate that.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Hey, thanks for sharing that. I guess one last question. This is kind of going back to the whole Gotta Have a Question series.
Yeah.
Just what are some of your thoughts? I mean, just as you've gotten questions, you know, they've been texted, I'm sure they've been emailed to you. Just like, what's kind of like an overriding thought you've had just in doing this series as you're getting ready to do the last message? Mm-hmm. Has there been kind of like an overriding thought or just something that you feel like God's been speaking to you like just throughout this series?
Yeah. Yeah, one overriding thought is that God loves questions. You know, God loves your questions.
Yeah.
And God can handle your doubts. He's had billions of people over thousands of years who have been doubting and doubting and doubting. And God's big enough that he can handle those things. Sometimes in churches, questions and doubts are discouraged.
Yeah.
But I find that questions and doubts are really the keys to opening up the door of fresh knowledge. And God loves for people to grow. And so I'd encourage everybody who's out there to keep asking your questions. You know, on our website, we've got a whole list of questions. Maybe that's how you got to this spot. If you've got a small group leader or pastor, if you just want to email someone at Christ Community, we love to help people work through their spiritual questions.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I know you're a busy guy, but hey, thanks for taking time just to, especially the topic of judgment. I know it's something that trips up a lot of people, so I appreciate you just taking a few minutes just to give people some good pointers and some good principles just when it comes to that. And hey, for those of you watching, thanks for taking the time to watch this, and talk to you soon. Thanks.